Hey, Centaurs, welcome to Teams Time. We are going to start this week with a little go around of books that we'd like to recommend to you while you are potentially enjoying some sun on a lovely day like today. Mr. King, send us a book recommendation.
A book that I've really enjoyed recently was titled Rubicon. It's about basically the rise of the Roman Empire. It's quite cool.
Nice. Ms. Farnell, you got a book to recommend for us?
Yeah, I'm actually reading A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mistry for the second time. So that's set in 1975 after a state of emergency, and it's pretty fabulous.
Nice. Mr. Chaffito?
Well, I don't know. I've read a couple books recently. I really liked Homo Deus. I thought that was an awesome book. And I really, I love biographies. So I really loved reading about the Elon Musk biography and Steve Jobs biography.
Nice. I have a book sitting on my bedside table that I haven't cracked yet, but it's about, I believe, the 1936 U.S. Olympic team called the Boys in the Boat. Could have the Olympics wrong, but it's about it's a nonfiction about an Olympic rowing team. And I was thinking actually about a book I read a little while ago called Station 11 about a pack of traveling sort of theatrical performers and minstrels. It's fiction set sort of in a post pandemic, kind of like it's a nice post-apocalyptic vision of the world with some Shakespearean actors traveling around. Our next phase, our next little section here is going to be answering some of the questions that you've been sending us in our form survey down below. If you have questions for the rest of our Teams Times and the school year going forward, please submit them in the form survey. But we're going to send it over to Mr. King to talk about lockers.
Yeah, someone asked me when they can come in and collect their locker items. We are planning to do a locker collection near the end of the year, and that will probably coincide with the yearbook collection and textbook collection. But however, if you would like to come in and clean out your locker earlier than that, please email me at bking@sd43.bc.ca if you want to come in and get them cleaned out.
Great. Our second question was actually about final grades and university acceptance, and I think either Mr. Chaffito or Ms. Farnell is handling that.
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the question was, I'm currently in grade 11 and going to be applying for entry to several universities for next year. Our university is going to look at our final grades any differently, especially since our grades were not necessarily finalized the same way due to this pandemic. So, well, actually, your grades are finalized based on the work you completed before spring break and the work you're completing after spring break. So we're expecting and anticipating that universities will accept students the way they have in the past, which means that your final marks for your courses in this semester will count. So unless we hear anything different from the universities, that is still the plan.
Great, thanks. Again, if you have further questions for us that we could answer for you here, please drop them in the form survey just below the video, and we'll get back to you with those next week. Next up, we have actually an interview with one of our graduating seniors. So Ms. Farnell and I talked to Dom Parolin about his plans for next year and just how he's riding out the COVID-19 end of his school year. So we'll go to that right now.
Hey, Centaurs. We're sure people get tired of hearing from us every week, so we're always excited to spice it up with a special guest. We've had our culinary assistant, Jeffrey Fagan, the mayor, our Vox co-chairs, and this week we are joined by graduating senior and one of the stars of our Centaur basketball and soccer teams, Dom Parolin. Hey, Dom, thanks for joining us here on Teams Time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great.
Nice. So we wanted to ask you just a couple of questions and see how things are going. We're checking in with people out in our community, and you're a pretty fit and active guy, and there's probably some sports that having to be physically distant are fine with. Like I like to run, and running isn't really interrupted all that much by the pandemic. But how are you staying fit and keeping active? And obviously, yeah, pickup games of basketball are a little harder to come by. But what have you been up to while we've been not coming to school and probably not having organized practices of basketball?
Yeah, so I have a hoop in my driveway, so I've actually been playing on my own and also with my family. So with my dad and my sister, we've been shooting, playing horse, playing games like that.
Yeah.
Then I've also been going for runs in the park, and I live right beside Mundy Park. And I have some weights I use to work out. I know it's not the same as you would get in a gym or with other people, like pickup games, but it works, and it's been going pretty well. And I'm fortunate to have all the resources that I have available.
No doubt. Your dad had a bit of a basketball career of his own, did he not?
Yeah, he actually played at Centennial.
Yeah.
They didn't end
Thought
up
so.
winning provincials, but they made it
Yeah.
to the semifinals two
Okay.
times in a row, I think.
Yeah, nice.
That's great. And I know your mom's a bit of an athlete as well.
Yeah, she played volleyball at Simon Fraser.
Oh, cool.
Right. So we know that people have been asking you all year what your plans for next year are and where you might be looking at to study and play basketball, hopefully. But in case people haven't heard, where are you going next year?
I'm going to Lehigh University, which is in Pennsylvania. So it's a small town called Bethlehem. So I'm going to be playing basketball there and studying, hopefully in the fall if everything opens up.
Mhm.
Cool.
Cool. Are there parts of that? Are there parts of that you're assuming all goes well, and that if not, maybe in September, at least shortly, you'll be able to head down there? What are you excited about that whole prospect?
I think I'm mostly just excited to be, I guess, like on my own and be like independent, living in a dorm room and just being with the basketball team. It's just like, I guess, a fresh start where I can like build my own personality again.
Yeah.
Have the coaches contacted with you with a plan of how you're supposed to get fit and get ready, and any instructions for you to be ready for the fall season?
Well, I think the coaches aren't actually allowed to talk to me until like as part of the team until high school is done. So right now they're doing meetings with the team, but once I graduate, I'll be doing like hour meetings every single day about like training and like plays, everything, just getting ready for the next season.
Cool. What do you know about, did you get to go there on a recruiting trip? I know I asked you kind of throughout the year where and when you were taking visits and stuff. Did you get down there?
No, I never actually got the chance to go down because everything got canceled because of
right around when all the plans were still in the works. What do you know about Pennsylvania and where you're headed? You said Bethlehem's a small town, but are you close to Philadelphia, close to Pittsburgh, or Pennsylvania?
About
close-ish to Montreal, no?
It's about an hour away from Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know a lot about Philadelphia. I know about the 76ers, obviously the NBA team, so hopefully I'll be able to get out to some games. But that's about it.
Cool.
One of the great things about being on the East Coast is you're pretty close to everything. So, and you'll get to see some pretty phenomenal places as you travel with the team as well, which will be pretty neat.
Yeah.
So given that you've been out of school now since spring break and you didn't really get to say your final goodbyes to the grad class as a whole, is there anything you'd like to say or give a message to your fellow grads or student athletes at Centennial?
As for the student athletes, it sucks if you haven't had to have your season, but if you like basketball, I was fortunate to have the season, and just good luck to everyone with whatever they're doing next year in post-secondary, and hopefully everything opens up for them so you can go away to school and not have to stay at home with online classes.
Yeah, indeed.
Absolutely.
Been great talking to you, Dom. Thanks so much for joining us here, and hopefully the basketball and Monday Park and and everything continues well throughout the spring. Get some better weather to train in outside, and hopefully September is able to work out for you, and if not September, then soon. Going away is a great opportunity.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care, Dom. Best
Good
of
luck,
luck.
Dom. See you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for that interview. That's wonderful to hear. This week's challenge, we have been working in the foyer and not getting outside as much as we would like. And so we were wondering if as a challenge, if you could send to us in the form link below, a photo of some wildlife or a bird or some beautiful outdoor photo that you could submit to us. And we will be looking through them, enjoying them, and we'll randomly select a winner. Yes, and maybe some Centennial swag will come your way. So looking forward to seeing your photos.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, Centaurs.
Yeah.